And yes, this is a big box. If you guys can get some help, it is 100% recommended. This is, I would say, almost twice as big as a regular bike box, and you might not see it in the video, but yes, it is quite huge. And according to the box on the side, the label, it says that I got the black color model, so I am quite excited. I do like the black color, definitely. So inside here we get some foam already with what appears to be, I think this is the charger. And yes, it is a huge charger. Okay, so this is a 67.2 volt 5 amp charger, and according to what I read online, this can charge your battery in about 4 to 6 hours approximately. Like I said, big charger. You can see the cooling fan right here. Even comes with a fuse for extra protection. It does work with a power cord. Check that out. It looks amazing. So the power cord came here with some fuses as well. So we get here also what appears to be some tools. So you don't need to have your own tools for assembly. Inside of where the tools came, you get a little phone mount, and this one has power to it. So I believe you can connect your phone by adding a USB and then connecting it to your phone. It'll be nice if in the future they can add the wireless charging capabilities to this same mount. That would be ideal. And so yes, here we have a couple of wrenches and Allen drivers as well. And if you guys look here closely, we did get the manual for the product, and I can tell this is the black color right there. The next item we get here, let's see, I think this is the mirror, and yes, it is the mirror. So right here you guys can see it, standard motorcycle mirrors. We get a piece of foam. So far, I mean, it's too early to tell. I can't see any damage. But wow, the seat is a lot bigger than I saw in videos. Wow, this thing looks beautiful. Okay, now it is obvious to say that this will be very difficult to take it out of the box myself. So what I will do is cut the box open and little by little take it out. This side should be a little easier because it is just clips holding it in place. But you know what? Let's just cut the whole thing. There we go. So let's do the same thing here on the other side. Check this out already. So inside here, we get the keys. Let's go ahead and cut this up. Check this out. We get 2 sets of keys and 2 sets of key fobs, and they actually feel very nice and heavy. They feel premium. So inside here we have the fender. Luckily, this is the matte black, by the way, and luckily this came in the metal side, so there's no damage whatsoever. Okay guys, so I was able to get that box out of the way, and now all we have is this plastic. Now I did notice that there is a damage here to the scooter, and this is the foot peg. I believe it is the right side foot peg right here. Luckily, like I said before, we have this company that cares and already mentioned that if anything came broken, to please contact them. So just like I said before, make sure you inspect everything on your scooter and let them know if there's anything that needs to be fixed. Well, again, these are the tools that we will need to get this assembled. If you guys haven't noticed, I already have it lifted on the front side so that we can get the tire installed. The first thing we're gonna get installed here will be the handlebar. So this we'll use, this appears to be a size number 6 Allen driver. So the first thing we must do is remove these 2 brackets that holds it in place, and then reattach these same screws. Here comes the first bracket out. When installing the handlebars, after removing those brackets, you will notice how this piece here, the handlebar itself, does have some markings. That's where it gets mounted on here on the bike itself. So let me give you a little demo here. Hopefully the camera's capturing this So it'll go something like this. You will notice the markings. So all you have to do, hold it in place. As I said before, it'll be nice if you have someone giving your hand. It makes it way easier. But if you don't, that's okay. You can still do it on your own. And for my surprise, they sent this color, which I was actually preferring this color, but they didn't ask me. So this must be my lucky day today. After getting the brackets a little bit tight to where you still have some movement on the handlebar, you can go ahead and start tightening the screws. And keep in mind that later you can come back to this if it's not good enough, and you can get them adjusted again. Before continuing with the assembly of the front tire, go ahead and remove this protective foam from the handlebars. And the reason for this is because underneath this foam, you will notice how the levers for the brakes are being pressed in by this zip tie. So you want to remove that before continuing with the front side here. There we go. We just took this one out. Let's do the same thing here for the left side. And that's it for now. For the front suspension, you want to have all this wrapping material removed completely. Also, it is a good idea to have everything that you will need for the assembly already set up. So I have here the main bolt that goes across here, the front forks with the bolt. We have the spacers and the tools that are required. So the first thing we do is again remove all that wrapping. The next thing that you want to do after getting everything nice and clean here is grab this included Allen driver. This is a number 5. And remove these bolts that will hold the fender in place. You want to take them all. There's a total of 6 of them. You have 4 on the front side, you have 2 here, 2 here, and then on the back side here, you have 1 more on each side. I am quite impressed here. So now that we got that done, you will find these spacers, okay? By the way, the tire is right over here. Okay, so you have one side that has the rotor. The other side doesn't have the rotor. Now, when you look at these 2 spacers, one of them will be slightly bigger or taller than the other. The one that is taller, bigger, whatever you want to call it, goes where the rotor is located. So it goes in here, like so. Then the smaller one goes on the opposite side, like that. Now, if you look here at the brake caliper, between the pads, which is right here, you will have this little plastic piece that needs to come off. Okay, and I just took it out. It went back here somewhere. Here we have it. This plastic has to come off so that the rotor here can slide right in between. Okay, so I went ahead and I applied just a little bit more force into the pad, and what that did is that the little piston that is inside the caliper was pressed back in or back out so that you can get a little bit more space here between the pads, and that allowed me to insert the disc like so. Okay, so at this point we are almost done. All we got to do now is insert the bolt. If you guys look closely here, I have both of the spacers. Keep in mind that the bigger one goes here where the rotor is. And now we insert the bolt, and check that out, guys. So far everything looks great. So look at this side, the spacer right there, don't forget about that. You have the other spacer here. Now we simply get the bolt installed, and now with the supplied wrenches, this is a size 12. Let me see. Actually, sorry, it is a size 14. Okay, right there, size 14. And over here, this is a size 17. Now we get them tight. Quick tip that I want to give you guys before installing the front fender is to check the pressure on your tire. And then right now we have this in PSI at about 25 PSI. Okay, so this is supposed to be inflated maximum at 40 PSI, but I would do about 38 PSI. That's it. Also, these tires are rated to last over 6,000 miles, which is really interesting. For the front fender, things are even easier. When you grab it, you're gonna see this part which connects back here, and then these two connect to the front. So it is easier to start from the front to the back, like so. Just apply a little bit of pressure, press them in, not too hard so that you don't break them. Now you grab your size 5 bolts and we secure the fenders. What I like to do is leave it a little bit loose and then install a bolt on each side, so that way as I'm getting them tighter, they are already pretty balanced. Check that out, we got the front side fully assembled. So we got the foam mount ready to install. Let's go ahead and use here my little electronic screwdriver to release that Phillips screw. It has to come out completely in order for it to go through the frame, like so. Make sure this wire goes behind it. There you go. Now we attach here the connection of the wires. There's only one way that this can go in. As a matter of fact, we have arrow with arrow, and that's it. Now for the side mirrors, we have this one here, which is the left side. You can notice it by the angle. So we simply bolt it on here. This little nut that comes with it is a size 15. Just twist it. Make sure that you sit on the bike so that way you can get a feel of how you want it, like that. And now you grab your 15mm and make it tight so that it stays in place. Twist until you can't go any further. Right about there. Once again, you place it to where you like it. Once you have it there, you grab your wrench and make sure you make it tight. This thing has a compartment at the very bottom of it, so you use the key, simply flip it open, and this is the battery. So you have two battery charging options. You can either take out the battery itself, or there's this plug here that comes with this little flap, and this is for waterproof purposes. I recommend that you guys be gentle with this, because if you break it, you might need to find a replacement. So yes, you can either connect it directly here or the battery. We have this orange plug. All you do is simply connect it. Let's reinsert the cover back on here. Let's get the key, lock it up. Well, another day has passed. Last night I finished a little bit too late, and I got this thing obviously here fully assembled and ready to go. Right now I have here my hazard lights turned on, so that way you guys can see right here what they look like. I also got the headlights turned on. Beautiful, beautiful bike. I already took it for a spin, about 2 miles into it, riding it. But of course, we're gonna be doing here a ride along, so that way you guys can see what this is all about. So here we have things like the hazard lights, as I mentioned before. We get the high beams and low beams. We also get the turn signals, and these are working perfectly well. Everything is working great out of the box, with the exception of that foot peg. Everything is great. You got the horn, and check out here the speedometer. Right now we have about 58 volts. I need to recharge it. We are in speed number 2, and I actually have 5 miles into it right now. Really cool. I love here the key fob. There you go. That's lock. This is unlock. This is panic mode. Okay, we took it off panic mode, and that's pretty much it. This thing is really nice and solid all the way around. Over here we have the headlights on and off. So let me put on back the key here, and again, these are the headlights on, the headlights off. This is your power or your speed selector. We have up to 3. Like I said, guys, amazing bike. It rides very nice. Let's go for a little ride here, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so here we are going now on our first test here of the INTHEZONE M1P. This is exciting, guys. After all that work assembling it, you want to definitely see something in return. Wow, this thing is very snappy. I have it on gear 3 right now. Okay, I also have my phone mounted on the left side. Very light traffic today. That's good. This thing doesn't have a tag right now. I had to figure out how to get it registered. Right now, the bike is saying that we're going about 41, but the speedometer on my phone is saying that we are going about 36. Very cool little bike here, guys. The speed is definitely as advertised, 36 miles an hour. It did better than I anticipated in terms of the speed. Right here on my phone, I can see the top speed was about 37 miles an hour. And I think this has a lot more potential. Who knows, maybe in the future we can do something to even make it go faster. But right now, 37 miles an hour feels like 60 on this particular bike. I have to say that on gear 3, the throttle here, it is definitely a little sensitive. So with this being said, let's go ahead and make a U-turn and continue riding. Here we go. And you know, even though it is very windy today, it doesn't feel like it's gonna go off-road or something. It's very steady on the road. I gotta say, guys, I love this thing.